model has cleared the tower. Every 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
How you doing, Martin? Said Martin. It's just like Arthur and Martin together. What's up with you, brother? How's your day going today, brother? Got some cool things to talk about today. All right, so I can see your comments now, guys, some of it. I'm doing great, brother. Thanks, Arthur. Peter, second here. That's so weird. Anyways, stopping through to support as usual. Seems like they want to still keep us in this 12 to 15 channel. Your thoughts? Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We're going to talk about many things. As you can see, I have many things opened over here. We're going to talk about, obviously, AMC. I got some cool things for us right here, if you guys can see it. My chart, we're going to talk about some things. We're going to open up some SEC files, too. The X files. This one is for you guys. We'll take another major puff and we can get into it. Now, who's all in here? My problem is my comments are not updating. All right. I see you, Arthur. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens in the next couple, like tomorrow, and then next Tuesday. I'll tell you guys why now. I'm trying to see my comments as soon as they come in. They're not. Okay. All right. Also, ATL Fed has us at -1. Guess we officially in a recession. Yeah, we definitely been in that, Peter. We definitely have been in that. post something in the Discord. ATL fed a bit late. I've been with that analysis. Well, yeah, Arthur, they are, but that works into the within this the realm of what the agenda that they have planned. You know, they all know this. Like they knew this back in 2020, in 2019, 2018, 2017, and I have like arguments to prove that. You know, their actions. We're gonna talk about these funny fools too, and this guy, this clown. Alrighty, guys. Let's. I wonder. I think everybody is not getting the invite, or everybody's busy somewhere else. Where's everyone? By the way, is my music too loud? Pop Loco, what's up? Oh, I see, Peter. Yeah, then that makes sense. Where's our people? I don't blame anybody. That's the hot spot. Yes, Arthur. I love it. I love it. I gotta say, man, Arthur, you have been one of the most intriguing friends that I've made in this whole movement. And I say this from an overall perspective, like your devotion to your conviction in this play. Doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about it. Just that shows a lot more about you, and I'm very, very, very proud to call you a friend. So, for whatever it means for you, brother, it's from straight up from my heart, honestly. So, I'm glad to have you as a friend, brother. I'm looking forward to growing that relationship even further and more and more. Coffee. All right. Nice. Pabloco, we're gonna talk about bbig too. I've kind of okay. Only one individual can say what I had a conversation with this one individual, okay? And we were bouncing back and forth with thoughts about a week and a half ago. And we came up to a conclusion that I was so afraid. And you remember a few months ago, we talked about it, and I said that my only fear for bbig was that they would, squeeze out Cryptide and, not cover all the, obviously their shorts in the bbig because it's just cheaper. Now, here's the thing. A week and a half ago, we were talking, me and this wonderful individual, and as we were back and forth going on with the ideas, his ideas, my ideas, back and forth, I was like, I hope they don't, what they do is they know that this dividend was a special spinoff. So I've mentioned many months ago that was a gonna come out, like the cryptide value, is gonna come out of BBIG's as a parent company because it's a special spinoff. You guys can fact check what that I said that. Now, back then, my worries were about short covering and dividend spinoff. So I wasn't worried about the amount that, you know, that was going to be taken off. And yes, BBIG was down, like it was up 25% in the morning in the pre-market. But the reason why it was down, even though it was plus 25%, is because it with the special spinoff, it went down to about 145, I think 140. And from that point, the true evaluation of BBIG started counting. So when it went up 25%, at that point, it was like around 169, 168. I was watching the whole pre-market. I was up until like 10 o'clock until the market opened today. And I passed out after that and then re-woke back up at 1:30. So I'm only running on like 2.5, 3 hours sleep. And it was in that conversation, what I told this individual was, I hope what they were doing, because Cryptide has been already registered and been traded previously, like for a long time, and that what that individual said is that they hadn't probably would have enough time to transfer their swap out their shorts from here and there and all that stuff. But my worry was that they would do the spinoff. This comes out of BBIG. They already have BBIG down at a certain price value. Then when the Cryptide is spun off, you saw what happened today. They shorted the living shit out of it, you know, bringing its value down so that when people are getting, like, you know, if you were one of those recipients of those dividends, unless you have that in and where like you 100% were going for that thinking, there's no way to see it. There's no way that it's coming, but it happened exactly the way it is. So now basically people, in a nutshell, people are holding a BBIG at an evaluation of a new 52-week low, which is numbers speak for themselves. Plus, a Cryptide is not that valuable, but it all comes down to where your average point was. So if you were averaged in the $2-3 zone, you're, no matter what, you're coming out profitable out of this, because that, with whatever you received from Cryptides, if in case you sell your Cryptides, I'm not saying sell or buy, but in case you sell your Cryptides, then obviously that's when you know, you'll be in a profit. But one thing to look at very carefully, remember those two entities that bought in like 3 weeks ago? One of them bought like 10 or 12% of BBIG's shares amount, and then the other one was like a couple days before the distribution date, it bought like another 4 or 5%. I have a huge feeling that those two entities went in and just said, you know what, they bought all those shares there, and it was an opportunity for them to obviously sell and dump all those shares, because one of them got all the Cryptides, and that's, oh yeah, the first one. That kind of makes sense now. That first one that bought all those shares, they bought it right before the announcement holding day, didn't they? Yeah, they did. And then after that, they received basically a lot of Cryptides, which also explains why they, I'm almost certain that those two institutions were behind this whole tactic of all of this. It's not going to change any of my conviction. Obviously, I know the value of what I'm holding. I know how much it's shorted. It's shorted to oblivion. I mean, just this week alone, before counting today, it was at like 32% of the volume of sorry, not the volume, the float was shorted on BBIG. So it ain't nothing but a thing and a bang bang bang, you know. I ain't worried about it, because eventually it's all factoring in. It's all factoring in. All right, Mikey J, how are you, brother? Nice to see you in here. Pabloco, hopefully that answers that, brother. This clown. Hey. Hold on. 1 second. Let me try to make this a. Do I dare do something crazy? KJW, how are you, brother? Do I dare do something here and make it a... As you can tell, I'm still very new to all of this. I'm trying to... forget it. I don't want to lose it. What do we have? Okay. Mikey, where we going? Safe travels. I just seen that from the new comment that came in. Droops White, how are you, brother? Nice to see you in here. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. All right. So that answers that as far as, oh yeah, this is gonna be fun. You guys know this clown right here, once again. All right. Do we... I'm great. Thank you for asking, Mr. White. Appreciate you, brother. All right. So besides bbig, and I hope that answers it, Pabloco as well. Like I said, so let me know if you or anyone else if you want to know more about that. But that was the hypothetical thinking, and I was walking you through what I've seen and all the things that were happening, you know, like as we were reacting to what they're doing. So like I said, in a nutshell, I think, and no one has probably came out to say this because there's no concrete evidence over this, but I'm almost willing to bet that, you know, it was those two entities that came in and swooped so many shares, especially the first one before the distribution date, because it was also gonna get a lot of cryptides. And they knew that if they initiate a massive sell-off, it will trigger a lot of people to go ahead and sell their cryptides because they, you know, they came in free. So that way they bring down cryptide, and in the same time, which they did, what was it at the end, 60% or some shit? Let's see. It was 68%, 67.78, yeah, 68% roughly. And then, ooh, let's see bbigv. Not much was done to it, but it's most likely going to be gone because it's delisted now. Yeah, because the distribution happened already. So now it's just bbig, and then you have cryptide, which is tied. No more tied fee. Yeah, they initiated all this, but then again, that creates more the short percentage increases. I'm willing to see. I can't wait to see what the data shows later on tonight when I look at it, or tomorrow. I think the short and everything, cost to borrow, everything is going to climb like through the roof after what happened today. My fears came in effect. They did happen the way that I feared they would. But that doesn't change anything from the investment itself. Okay, let's see. What do we have here? I hope you had a great time, Mikey. Hopefully you had a great time in your travels. Apparently there's still a lot of people who didn't get tied due to Apex clearing delays. Yeah, that is true. That is true. I mean, I got all of mine on my other platforms, but I didn't get mine on any. I don't know, like if Apex, I heard it, I didn't get anything on there because I don't have any bbig shares there, like long. So yeah, they can only do so much, you know. They're initiating, they're trying to shake out people. At the end of the day, you got to know what you're holding, right? Same story with AMC, guys. And they report it, just that BS numbers that they report. It's not even like real numbers, and even then, it's like 33% of the float is being shorted. And on top of that, that's just without counting today and what perhaps is going to be like tomorrow. One thing is, I was anticipating, you guys remember yesterday I said I was anticipating to see what will happen with you know, with the whole Melvin situation, but I guess we could give it a few days, because you can think about like what's going to happen as far as they start initiating blocks maybe in the aftermarket or tomorrow's pre-market. If not this week, then they might do it by Tuesday. So I'm giving it until that window. Then after that, we're gonna have to call some BS on what's happening, because you can't just like what I'm anticipating, and I'll show you guys right here. Forget all this stuff, we'll break it down a little bit, but what I'm anticipating, and I'll actually we'll get to that in a bit. We'll get to that in a bit. I don't want to be all over the place. All right, guys. So let's talk about Citadel for a second. And Veronica, how are you? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to take you away from, you know, I didn't mean to take you away from there. Okay. All right. I can't see the updated newest comments coming in. Well, actually I can. Yeah, now I can see. But I'm a little bit behind. So guys, give me a little bit. Monty Burger. How are you, brother? Welcome in here. Oh, Pabloco, you got in on that? Good luck. Mr. Trickle, how are you doing? Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad I didn't ruin anything then. So Mr. Monty Barger from Robinhood, starting July 1st, 2022, Robinhood will consider fractional shares orders to be not held. Learn more in our updated customer agreement under section 22. Yeah. What's up, Corbin? Mr. Dallas, ain't no party like a sundial party. Yeah. Yes, F Robinhood. Because they're not, like right now, they're literally like begging people to stay. Please stay just a little bit more, because they want to, you know, have their next earnings at least somewhat presentable. They're screwed. They're effed. So we're looking here at this. This is a little older. It's from May 2nd, but I got a point to why I'm showing you this. Citadel's flagship held fund rallied 7% in April during turmoil, brings 2022 returns to nearly 13%. See, the thing is, guys, who's verifying this shit? You know, they're the ones who's verifying and reporting these fucking percentages, right? But there is some truth to it, because what this bloodsucker does, and we'll talk about why they're moving to Miami as well. Actually, let's talk about that a little bit first. So why they're moving to Miami is because, one, here's what they're saying. Here's what Kenny G is saying. Oh my God, crime is rising in Chicago. They've been in there for over 20 freaking years, and crime in Chicago has always been high. Now they want to leave. Well, the real reason to look at is there's two things. One, everybody remembers that fire that happened in the beginning of the year there, in their one of their hubs, and then you got the governor that he was backing of Illinois lost. So therefore, there's he's like, okay, the city and the state is like, they sucked it dry. They caused a lot of damage in there, and then obviously now they're like, let's go ahead and move to Miami because there's too much crime around there. Yeah, he cares about the crime. For 20 something years, that didn't bother him. Now it is. So, as I was saying, so they report these, but here's what these bloodsuckers do. Like, this is BS, because how can they report a profit on anything when all the things that they are invested in, like this, all of these, and their biggest positions are in the SPY. Well, what the hell is happening with the SPY? We know what's been happening with the SPY. It's been like crap, you know. This fool on by the end of the first quarter, he went ahead and like added more, like 400% over to their SPY portfolio, adding another 1.25 million shares. As you can see here, they went ahead and subtracted their shares total in their portfolio up to 44, almost half of their portfolio size in each one of these. In AT&T, that's amount of 19.34 million shares. You know, when that's dumped, you know what that does, right? Creates a cascading effect of selling pressure, because all that going down triggers all the sell limit orders that were put there, because, you know, let's face it, there are a lot of individuals and there are a lot of institutions that have sell limit orders. So basically like stop loss. So they would have those limits. Being a market maker, they have access to know basically all this crap. So what they could do is make big positions in plays like these and many more everywhere in the market. And at any given point, that gives them a button, like many buttons. Imagine each stock has a button, right? An eject or explode button. What these fools, this monkey right here, what they do is they go ahead and make positions almost everywhere, right? To dominate and corner that market, right? And that's why they call them the market maker, because they bring liquidity that the markets don't have. Without them, there's no markets. That's what their case is, right? Him and the other couple more market makers. But what they do is they go ahead and create positions, and then they know when, according to what agenda, they can corner that market and kind of have leverage. So they could easily control any stock by simply doing this. And they did this. We know that they did this with the help of BlackRock and Circle. They did this in the crypto realm, starting that sell-off in crypto in Luna, which further created all that sell-off pressure throughout the rest of the crypto market. And then next thing you know, everything is low. Now, why would you think they would do something like this? If your idea or if your thought was that they're trying to corner that market because they're scooping, they're coming into that market, all those market makers, and they're trying to scoop up as much as they can so that they can be in control and come in on an average cost that's lower than everybody, meaning that they will also further control that realm through ownership. It's pretty fucked up, and sorry for the F-bomb, guys, but again, people like this guy, and how they go about things just makes you so disgusted. And then again, here we go with the SEC, and you got the rest of the government who are all like still dancing and still revolving in the same position, like circling around themselves, acting like, I don't know, we can't see proof. Inflation, and on the Fed side, inflation is transitory. Oh shit, it's not. We're gonna continue to raise and hike rates until we get that inflation rate. Well, you got Wells Fargo CEO coming out today saying that the markets can't handle future rate hikes that the Feds will bring out. And he's not saying something like wrong, but he's also not saying something new. You're elaborating on what? Are you telling people further, are you further feeding that conviction for people that the recession is here? Well, we as apes, we all knew this from freaking 2 years ago, that it was coming. This whole thing was supposed to happen in 2020. But instead, we had a surge in 2021, further giving money and profits, transferring a lot of money into the pockets of the elites and the 1%. And here we are today, right? We're gonna continue with this, and I'm gonna tell you guys one thing too. When we look at the AMC chart, you're gonna see something. Frankie Muhammad, how are you doing, brother? Nice to see you in here. Arthur, you guys here Bigums last night. I was on and off, not much really. It was a very long one, and I was doing some searching here and there and DD here and there. I like to follow the money and see what they're doing, instead of, and this has nothing to do with any creators, what I'm saying, like everybody has their ways and strategies of what they go after. I like to follow exactly what their steps are, what they're doing step by step, so I can get a better understanding of what their next move is going to be. I'm not too lost into the big picture of things, because to correct something, you have to start somewhere. And in order for you to do that, you have to deal with your enemy first. Unfortunately, that's the world that we live in. The system is built around who's controlling it, and who's controlling it is these guys, our enemies. They have a whole platform, and actually Bigums goes, majority, obviously his whole work, which is awesome work, goes over, the whole picture of, okay, we're effed because of this is the cat, all that kind of stuff. And for me, while that is extremely very obviously important to understand the overall picture, you also have to it's very important to also focus on what your enemy is doing, so that you don't get caught, with your shorts down, even though we don't short anything, and they do something. Now, the funny thing is, at the end of the day, buying and holding has been the #1 solution to obviously all of this madness, because buying is insanity, because we constantly keep buying more things that shouldn't even be available, because it's been out. We're just adding more to it. But you got to do what you got to do, right? It's not a bad thing. You're trying to maximize your portfolio on the conviction, on the play that you have so much conviction on. Nobody can hold you wrong to that. Now, the hold, on the other hand, is the most, I keep stressing this issue, the holding is so important. It is the most important ingredient in this whole formula. And that's what they're going after defeating. They want to kick and kill that idea out of your head. They got a lot of creators that are coming out that before, and I'm not going to mention names, that used to, down with the ape movement and know exactly, or not know, but at least have a very good idea on how manipulated this whole thing is. So therefore, they never even talk about brackets or any of that. They just used to have a lot of conviction. Suddenly, after June of 2021, majority of these creators kind of toned it a whole lot down. Some sold, some got out, some are now, majority of them are tapering your expectations, trying to push different agenda at you. First, it was in the 5-digit and the 4-digit brackets and 6-digit bracket. Suddenly now, majority of those YouTubers and you probably know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to mention any. I'll leave that to you to comment on. Are changing it up down to a 3-digit and even 2-digit, and some are even completely lost on the conviction. Say, oh no, sell out of AMC, get into these pump and dumps that most people got screwed on. That let's face it, red box was the only thing that kind of was the hook to hook people in, and then after that, everything else is a shit burger. PSNY, everybody ate shit in that. Whatever YouTubers were pumping that as well. For the meantime, right now, everybody ate a shit burger. Let's face it. I'm not hating or saying nothing wrong. I'm saying the truth. Looking at the facts. Look at these numbers in front of you. What's the other one? That BLST. Here. Box D. Somebody came in here and asked me a question about it once, and I told you guys my thoughts on it. And look at it. If you backtrack into about 3 streams ago, you'll see exactly there was that part. I forgot who was it that asked me that question, and I told you, like, hey, unless this moves past these channels and least level, which at that time I don't even remember what I said, but because it was just a question, I answered it. But it's documented on my videos, so I'm not gonna, erase something that is already documented and live. So and it didn't. And right now, it's eating a big shit burger. PSNY continuing the downfall even further, almost meeting its 52-week low, dancing right around it. Red box, long live the king, basically. They tried to make another push, but now they're under that 850, if you guys remember, zone that I told you about. And it's around 732 now. So this 8% gain today was nonsense, in my opinion. So yeah, you had all these tubers that came in, and next thing you know, a lot of change, and all these and what initially got them to get going, riding the community on the back of the community and screwing everybody up so that they can stay holding, and they continue to hold. You can hold, and they do what they gotta do. Let's see, let me look at some of the comments in here. Oh, there's my friend. What's up, Pantheon? How are you doing, my friend? Nice to see you in here. From Jerusalem, how are you, brother? Yes, Kim A, how are you doing? Blame Teddy Zane. Again, like, I don't know, like, what he in particular himself, like, I wasn't mentioning just one particular YouTuber. I was just saying in general, right? Like, in general, all these creators, sorry, I'm just changing the charcoals on my hookah, but all these tubers were jumping in, and I believe Teddy Zane himself said, oh, I racked in whatever amount of thousands of shares at an $11 average. Well, I'm not putting the flashlight on you, Teddy Zane, if you are seeing this, but you gotta do what you gotta do, right? So he got in at, what was it, PSNY, and look where it is at 11. It's 881 as of the close. That's about 25% loss on the portfolio over a couple of days, or not the whole portfolio, or the position. So are they gonna? The question is, are they gonna paper hand their investment, their short-term investment, or are they gonna continue to hold and wait for it to go back up? Bag holding, basically. And while their conviction was supposed to be very big on AMC, you see this. You're asking yourself now, like, why is AB sharing this sentiment with us? Well, because I truly care about seeing, I hate seeing my especially my community and family and a lot of AMC, like all the AMC family, even they don't, many of them don't know about me. I care for them because of the simple fact that I know what it feels like to be slaughtered. I got slaughtered badly back, what was it? Like more than once. And it was terrible. Like my first trading experiences, I remember back in those days, I just, man, I got slaughtered so bad that it brought me back to literally zero. And I had to find that strength in me to get back in. And that was like, what was it? Like on different occasions. Like it was back in 2000 and the last one was in 2018. And that was terrible. So after that, that's why I always stressed it. The fact and the issues that, hey, always walk into a play with a particular plan. And for me, I always told you guys I have that 20% rule. No matter what happens, my play is down 20%, I'm out of it. Unless it's a play that I'm bag holding on, which is like AMC or GME, and I'm playing the long run. The further that it goes, in fact, the more that it goes down, the better for me it is. I explained this many times before to you guys, that my plan approaching this was a little different, maybe the same as many, but it was a little different from many as well, which is give me more time to accumulate more so I can screw the shit out of you with as much more later down the line. So that's my, and you can't go against it because it's similar to the mindset of a 401k or a pension. You're working and you're leaving this on the back burner so that it can serve you well when you retire. Only difference here is that this is not going to be no 401k. This is going to be a complete 360, or not 360, 180. 360, go back right to where you started, right? Enough of the talk about the tubers and what they got people in. Let me read a couple more comments real quick. And Pantheon, I want eat a shit burger. Well, right now they have options, Pantheon. They have that, and they have like as you shared in that one episode. You know, they have bugs on the menu now. Nah, we're good where we at. That's why, see, all this other noise, you were warned. Some creators have warned you about this. All this other noise that's coming out of nowhere, it's pointless. It's pointless. One thing you got to remember, and this is reality. I'm going to give you a realistic thought right here. Money talk, BS walk. Let's say it correctly. Money walks, bullshit walks. And what do I mean by this statement? As in, when an entity like a Citadel or these hedge funds, the bigger advantage other than the manipulation factors and the control that they have and the dark pool access that they got, but the biggest natural advantage that they have is they have capital. They're working with other people's money. You and I are working with our own money. So the idea here is they can stretch themselves out thin on many counts because they got a lot more from where that came from, the money, as I'm saying. You and I, no matter what our amount, like even if we're putting in $2 million each or whatever in our portfolios, it is still going to be very significantly smaller than any hedge fund. It's not even on the same radar. Now, when one part of their strategy is to stretch the community out thin, and that's why you see all these pump and dumps every day, pharmaceutical stocks or these stocks that I just mentioned, or we just mentioned, Redbox, freaking PSNY, all those, and many more will come, and many more have passed. They want people to stretch themselves thin on more counts. And yes, let's not kid ourselves. I know there are a lot of people out there that are not putting in extra money from somewhere else, external money to put in different plays. No, a lot of people did listen to some stupid YouTubers out there and sold a fraction amount or some parts of their AMC or GME shares just so they can go jump on this, thinking that life is easy. Jump on here. I saw a Zane or whoever whoever you want to mention. You know who I'm talking about.
Oh, I put in at this price and I got out at this price. I made $5,000. Now I can buy 16, whatever, 160 extra AMC shares and all that stuff. So people, to them, like, oh, that clicks. Yeah, let's do that. You don't know that you're spreading yourself thin. And now if you lose that, you just diminish the size of your AMC portfolio. And when this whole thing squeezes later, and again, I'm not telling anyone to buy or sell or what should they do. I'm just putting out the fact so that you can see the background, like how the game is being played and how they're playing you and connect, like playing with those chords and using you as a doll. And they're using these stupid creators, some stupid creators, to further push that agenda down to you. That's how they connect with you, through these idiots. It's wild. It's wild how it happens this way. I can never see how can you have so much conviction in something and see it at a crazy value like this, which is very similar to those stocks like this, PSNY, almost very similar. And on dips like this, people are going to buy these, like majority owned by these hedge funds, all the shares, and all they got to do is wait for enough people to jump in, not just pull the rug, but dump all their shares for a profit. And maybe a couple of lucky retailers will make some fucking money, and the rest will end up not just bag holding, but end up losing everything. All right, let me see who's all in here. Okay. Jeffrey, what's up, brother? How are you doing? Glad to see you in here. Thank you, Veronica. It means a lot to me. Appreciate it. I know it means a lot to Pantheon as well. I don't speak for the gentleman, but my friend, you know, I'm pretty sure no one hates a person that's giving him props. All right. I think I'm a little behind, like comments-wise, when they come in, as how fast I'm reacting to them. Oh yeah, like see, Eric Cuthill is in the house. Man, it's been a long time, brother. Hopefully all is well. And if you passed through Cincinnati in the past, since last time I spoke to you, I'm gonna be angry at you that you didn't even hit me up. You promised me some chips. Brendan and Ella's Adventures, how are you? Sorry, I just seen it now. All right, so we see here, as I wanted to show you King Griffin's stock portfolio, which is Citadel's in this case. Look at this. I wanted to show you guys here this, remember from May 2nd, Citadel's flagship hedge fund rallied 7% in April due to turmoil, brings 2022 returns to nearly 13%. But when we look here, what is this? How did they get 13% gain on the quarter? But here it's showing you they're down first quarter 12%. Are they hiding their losses? I am very confident that they're definitely hiding their losses. They're doing the same shit that AQR was doing. Look at this idiot. He continues to buy up the SPY. As you can see, almost 400% added, 1.25 million shares. What is it? Is he trying to prevent it from going down to 320? Because you got a lot of other idiot tubers out there that are saying SPY is going to 500 and it's going to spike to 500 or 400. You are completely, if you are spreading that kind of nonsense, you're as equivalent as to the feds trying to tackle inflation. That's how in tune you are with the market and what's happening. Look at him. Look, adding more TLT, which is obviously the iShares 20+ year treasury. He's not buying no 10-year or nothing smaller. This guy's already betting on the long haul, right? On the rebound of the market. I wonder, why would he say in the Bloomberg interview, which was less than a month ago that a recession is not projected to be until at least the next 4 quarters. But this guy is already, why are you doing this right here? Why are you doing this, Kenny G? Huh, homeboy? Why are you doing this? Right now, why? Since it's a year out, right? Look, here's a perfect picture to an image to you, so you can see how they were masterminding majority of these drops also. Look at this. 76% of their portfolio on Facebook, they dropped in that first quarter, which was an equivalent to a million, and they took off 1.85 million shares of Facebook. You know, when that is dumped, you can only imagine the selling pressure that it adds on the stock. And again, very similar to that whole Luna situation and how they masterminded it with BlackRock. Come on in, circle. Next thing you know, they you guys know the story of how they approached the that gentleman, and then they basically they bought a lot and they sold a lot of Bitcoin for Tether, and the next thing you know, they dumped all that from their end. The shorting of supply of this created the selling pressure on the rest of the crypto market, and now they have it open for themselves so they can come in and scoop up majority of these downturns, because one thing we do know is that they're doing what? This is what they're doing. Trading firms, I shared this with you before. I remember, guys. Nobody want to read this. Stop this stupidity. Trading firm Citadel Securities, Virtue, building crypto trading ecosystem source. They've been working on this for a while now, about a couple months at least, since they've announced it. Been talking about it for a long time though. And what these guys are doing, how can they create an ecosystem without having too much of the ecosystem as market makers? How can they become market makers? They need to have the same excuse they have in a stock market, that we provide liquidity. Without us, there's no stock market. Eventually, you're gonna hear the same spiel over in the crypto world in the days to come, when if they become market makers in the crypto world. They're gonna be like, well, without us, crypto world have no liquidity. We provide all that. How do they provide liquidity? By dumping everything and basically coming in, pumping one source, just one domino, screwing one domino, selling, like creating a selling pressure on one domino, which brings down the whole house of cards. And now it's all tasty and up for grabs. Everything is up for grabs for them. They're piling up. They're piling up. We'll see. Pantheon. Well, you don't. You just go to the incubator, and thanks to you, Pantheon, we have this awesome. See? Pantheon. If you would like to step in, you know, you don't need an invitation. Just go right into the incubator, and next thing you know, you're loaded. This is the beauty of the incubator. You get a privilege here. Some places have it, but there's only one incubator. And the advantage of it is, while we're doing this right here, trusted sources will be able to come in and bring you straight up incubator style ideas and break things down. And by the way, Pantheon, to what exchange? You gotta go to the IEX. Because they're gonna dark pool our incubator shares. Yeah, right, Eric. Someone has to literally be smoking rocks. To say that the SPY is going up to the $500 range, right? I think you guys know who I'm talking about. So let's see here. That was some of their largest trades right here. It's some of their largest sales and some of their largest buys. There was one thing I wanted to show you guys right here. Look at this. I thought this was interesting. Was it this? I think it was this or ocgn. Hold on. You're gonna laugh when you see this. Ooh, the 20 top shareholders of AMC, which is one of the biggest purchases that Citadel made. Look who we got, Mr. Ray Dalio. Look who's second, Mr. Kenny G. The peasant. Oh, we also got Jim Simmons down here. But one second, I'm trying to see here. Look at this. It wasn't this one. I think it's this one. ocgn. Yeah, this. Look who's in this one too, Mr. Cliff Asness, right underneath like right next to each other, right? Ray Dalio is in here. Now, what does this stock do? What is this company doing? I'm about to show you right now. Where did I see it? Hold on. You guys are gonna like this. Where was his? One of these companies in here, I was able to track down just so I can, save us, you and I, both time. I tracked them down. One of these, I think it was ocgn. I think it was this one. And what they did is that they're exposed to basically, no, it should be Taiwan, something. They're basically a company of semiconductors straight out of Taiwan. And we know the shortage in those semiconductors. And I thought that was pretty interesting that they're invested into that, obviously. Big too. And then we got also, there was a merger that's supposed to happen between Frontier and, who was it? Frontier and,
They were supposed to be merged with another one, but which one was it? With Spirit Airlines, yes. They were supposed to do that, and then the board have postponed it. Now, what I was seeing is that he made in the first quarter, Kenny G made a huge position into that. Where is it? Where did I find it? Again, they're over leveraged in technology, majority of their stuff, and we know what's happening with technology. But the way they leverage their portfolios and themselves is by having all these shares. One, so they can write a lot of puts. Not that they can't write a lot of naked BS, but again, they write a lot of puts and they can control when they want to pull the plug on any company, literally, just about. And that's the ultimate unfortunate truth that the whole system is turning a blind eye to, because it's right there in front of all of you. Like, you can see it in exactly their transactions and how they control and latch on to any company. And then at that point, it's like kind of coming in and say, hey, this company, I'm gonna own this company from you, or I want the agenda to happen or to go like this. And there's nothing you could do about it, even though they have nothing to do with the company. All they have to do is through a stock purchase a big position because they got the money and the capital for it. And then after that, they can, on a downturn like this, they can write puts. They don't even have to sell their shares. If they sell their shares, that means they're trying to bring the stock down and overall make the company weaker so that they can come in and either swoop up and have a better standing, and then the company can grow, and they would benefit more than everyone else, or they can just put a shutdown, click that button, ruin the company, and basically short it down to nothing, because they have the shares for it. All right, enough of this guy for the moment. Let me see who we got in here. Let me look at some of the comments real quick. Oh, it just jumped on me. Jay Pertagi, how are you doing, brother? That's Corbin Dallas. Yeah, King Griffin is a born liar. He can't help it. Like, he's probably in that level where he believes the lie because he lied so much, to the point where it becomes a reality to him. I honestly probably think that, like, he's that crazy. Whimsy Chick, how are you doing, my friend? As far as Eric, what website that is, it's right there, hedgefollow.com. And you can see AQR, you can see many things, but when you see these positions and what these guys doing, you could have a better understanding of what possibly could be their next, like their moves, what they're planning for, like what's their ultimate overall image, what are they looking for down the line. Look at this crap. They're heavy in healthcare. Wow, yeah, no wonder. Buying up, dipping basically Moderna and Novavax and pumping up these pump and dump stocks that you see on a daily base, these pharmaceutical penny stocks, just for a day, make a lot of money because they're already in on the bottom. They help add more buying pressure somewhere along the lines, entice people to jump in the play. And next thing you know, before you know it, that play that was 200-300% on that day, within a few hours, it's already down to 100%. Next thing you know, probably even less, down to 40-50%. And then in the after hours, they pull out the knives and forks, sharpen them up, and finish what they started.
That way, everything is clean. They got money. A lot of people left with a big loss or bag holding. So, Pantheon, I'm gonna. I think it was episode 139 that you had when you had that picture of bricks. So I thought it was cool to show this real quick. This is, ladies and gentlemen, what I believe personally is is like the 1%ers, or this is who's controlling the whole world. A few individuals that represent, unfortunately, they represent many of these nations, the world's strongest nations, most influential nations. And these, can you believe that people like this fool right here, no, I don't want to give you cookies. Look at this idiot. This guy doesn't even have a clue where he's at. You could tell. This guy is thinking that this guy is about to make a jump from here to here, which is very drastic for these people's age. Biden is saying, don't do it. Don't do it. Johnson is saying, I'm going to go for it. This guy's like, yeah, please get it over with. Look at Macron. He's like, are you serious? And look at her. Well, she's no longer the chancellor, but look at her. It's like, what is he doing? Is he about to jump, or is he like trying to pray like a Muslim or something? Allahu Akbar. Well, I know he's not doing that because he's not one. She's like, what am I doing here on this island? Ooh, what kind of island is this? Well, we know she just got 20 years. Sadly, that's it. Against, so it's these guys against ooh, while I was down here, I found something cool too. 1 second. I got so many things that are open. Look at this. Isn't this so ironic? Look at this photo. I don't want to register. Get out of here. Look at this. Look at this. This guy's just trying to get in the photo. He's photobombing. Look, she's looking at him and he's like, you think I'm serious? You think I'm playing? Here. I thought it was funny just to look at this picture. You know, they were right when they say the picture can tell a million words. So it was those guys that I showed you in that versus these guys. Who's going to control the world? These guys or the other guys? Unfortunately, we're caught into a situation, and I think it's been like that since almost beginning of time, where you're caught in between the better of two evils. Who am I to say? But again, this is just, I thought it was funny to look at and talk about. All right, close this. Let's go over this. You guys in the mood for having some fun, laughing? So these are some of the comments on that ATS regulation that I was talking about before with you guys, and then Pantheon was covering. I wanted to read some of the comments. This is what I'm focusing on, right? You guys in the mood for laughing? You guys remember this entity, right? Circle. BlackRock. So look at here. I just wanted to read from this one. I just wanted to show you one thing. Because I don't want you to go through all those pages. They basically say they don't want this. They don't want. They're going against that regulation completely. They want the market to stay as it is, and they say a lot of stupid shit. But look here. Look at this. We echo the concerns expressed by Commissioner Hester M. Pierce. You guys remember this word, name, right? You guys seen episode when, what episode was it, Pantheon? If I may ask. That was a hilarious one, right? So they're echoing. They're echoing her. They want her, basically. The only one that said no to that regulation, all basically regulation that other SEC commissioners have said yes to. She's the only one that is saying no. And right here, as Commissioner Pierce has urged, the commission should think through the full implications of its proposals, particularly with respect to digital asset markets, and should welcome more extensive public comment from such market participants prior to implementing new regulation in this space. Basically, they're saying, "Oh, listen to her. She knows what we follow her. She's the one who knows what she's talking about." Here we got Virtue Financial. You guys remember who that is, right? A market maker in the crime with Citadel, right? Look, they show all this stuff. You feel free to go in and read through all this stuff, guys. I've scanned through them, but I just wanted to highlight another nice little thing. Look, all these pages. Look here. Look what Virtue said. We strongly agree with Commissioner Pierce's observation that any effort to enhance the regulatory regime governing market structure must take into account the potentially cataclysmic risks of inadvertently making things worse through sloppy or rushed rule making. That introduces uncertainty for market participants and investors, or that deprives the public and the commission of the opportunity to devote careful attention to thinking through the full implications of the proposed rules. Virtue believes that the Commission's proposal has significant risk of making things worse. Worse for who? For us? Because no, it actually worse for them. And that it could deter innovation and dissuade new entrants from entering into the market for trading venues, execution services, and liquidity provision. So basically, these other criminals are going to be less excited of entering a market unless there is a space for them to manipulate. Cry me a river, Virtue. That all that comes on the backs or our expense. We also here got the NASDAQ one, and I will go into that. But where's Citadel? Citadel's was hilarious. Citadel's was the best. It was hilarious. You guys see how many comments on this? And there was a law student. Again, the comments for this was supposed to have been done by, or due for June 13, but people are still submitting comments. So I don't understand what's actually happening onto when it will go in the register. If they're gonna reopen freaking, the comment section again and push it down the can, like kick the can down the road again. Where was Citadel's? Citadel's was hilarious. It literally was like a page. You know, when a hedge fund is making a comment, when especially those market makers and all of them making comments on a regulation and they're strongly against it, that means it's strongly good for us and bad for them. By the way, I want to give a shout out to what's their name? Not that they need a shout out, but FINRA. FINRA also had a very nice one. NASDAQ had a great one, and there was this law student. This right here, Michael D. Lippman. It was a nice full thing. Like, they just submitted this about 3 days ago. This, if you guys have time, go in there and read this. All these pages, it explains exactly like how the market makers and the dark pools are being utilized against us. The NASDAQ did a very great job in their comment and explained all of it. And this law student right here, Michael, man, kudos to you. Like 8 pages of just top-notch stuff, I swear. And of course, you have the Hedge Fund Association. These guys are also another madness that we have that many people are not looking up. They're called the HFA, the Hedge Fund Association, and they're the same thing. Look, only 1 or 2 pages, that's it. Saying the same thing as Citadel and all these market makers the same, because obviously, again, it's the Hedge Fund Association. Saying under the dealer proposal, certain private funds controlling 15 million or up or more in assets, unlike registered funds, would possibly need to register as dealers under the revised definitions. The Hedge Fund Association believes that these funds are and their advisors are already adequately supervised under investment advisory laws and regulations and do not need additional layer of burdensome regulation. Yeah, I'm sorry, you're talking about the laws that haven't been changed for about 50 years? The deal proposal is broad and would require private funds and their counsel to engage in a fact of circumstances analysis to determine whether they are in fact dealers. Facts and circumstances tests rarely result in legal certainty. Those who fail to register were found to be required are subject to penalties, and those who registered defensively were not found to be required face a panoply of regulatory obligations and supervisory oversight. So basically they're saying those people who were caught, they got penalties and fines, and we all know what kind of penalties or fines they are. They get to rob the house and then pay the police officer outside, which in this case happens to be the SEC, a freaking $200,000 ticket, which is laughable, you know. It doesn't necessarily have to be 200,000. I would just give it an example, but you guys all know some are even 10,000, some of them are 2,000, some of them are. Point is, they're going to be very minuscule compared to the crime committed. Dips Patel, how are you, my brother? Nice to see you in here. Let's look at this too. Where is Citadel? Where did you go, Citadel? No, you didn't delete your comment. It was somewhere here around the April 18th time frame. If you guys see it, let me know. Theirs is hilarious. It's like extremely short. It's like a half a page. Did they remove it just from yesterday to today? There's no way. Corbin, I agree with you. Okay, okay. I got you, Eric. I got you. 1 second. That's for you, Eric. And as far as the SCC one, yes, that's the SCC.gov, and then from there you go to the proposed rules, and then you can see the S20722, I believe, was for this one. I'll show you right now. I know you're driving. Drive safe, brother. Jeffrey, look at this. Megan Roque. Roca? Oh, there's an E instead of an A at the last name. Look at this. I was wondering. I was like, who's this Megan? Do you know her? Are you? Let's see. Where's Citadel? Come on. Are they always a pain in the ass like this? Yeah, they always are. Everything they're involved in. Everything. So many people that I didn't even look at, guys, that are also like that submitted so many comments on this. I mean, you even got freaking US representatives. Oh, there's Citadel. Caught him. Yes. The president of FINRA, she fantastic explanation what she did. Right there. Let's see Mr. Stephen John Berger. Look at this. It's just this one page and that's it. Let's see, where do you want to read from? Basically a bunch of nothing. In order to provide further clarity to market participants as stated in the proposal deletion of multiple is not necessary in order to ensure multilateral RFQ trading. Venues are appropriately captured as such systems do not have a single counterparty. They're basically flexing their muscles and saying that we are, because of us, there is everything possible. You know, the feeling when someone makes you feel that without them, you're nothing. Have you ever been in a toxic relationship where they, always put it in your face, how big, how amazing they are and what you are without them and without them in your life? This is basically what Citadel is doing right here. Similarly, we recommend the Commission consider providing additional clarity regarding the intended scope of new terms added to the exchange definition, such as trading interests and communication protocol, in order to avoid unintended consequences. No, please. Communication protocol, market maker. We appropriate the opportunity to provide comments on the proposal, but please feel free to call the undersigned at, he covered his number, with any questions regarding these comments because he doesn't want apes to be calling them. However, I know that there are some people that were able before to use to do something so that they can remove this highlighter. I don't know how to do it, but if somebody in here knows how to do stuff like that, you can definitely see this. And I'm not saying go and obviously abuse anything, but I think it'll be funny just to see a phone number that the global head of government and regulatory policy of Citadel. You play Call of Duty. Yeah, NASDAQ made a comment, Eric, and
Liftoff of mission 41B, the first flight of the orbital
it was long, and it needs like a whole episode just to break down exactly what they what they break down in their comment. I mean, it was big, but it breaks down a lot of things that are happening that are very shady. We passed it. Where did it go? I just want to like scroll over it so you guys can see, and definitely go in there and read. You guys will see, like, it's just about time investment. So like if you have time, you go through it, you'll understand every word that is saying there, because they typed it, like somebody basically sent that comment, right? Where are you, Nasdaq? Where are you? Where are you? I saw the FINRA. Of course, when you're looking for it and you need it on the spot, it doesn't show up, right? Or you have to go through a lot to find it. There it is. I know some of you guys were saying it's right there. You passed it. See, look at all this. They even, and just to show you that you're not gonna lose time when you're reading it, they even have, like, literally all this is broken down. The whole structure is broken down in this comment. And then they're basically submitting also their agenda on how they're advising the SEC to make the markets, basically, as you can see here, optimizing markets for today and tomorrow, having a better frame. Man. See, I like how they made this into a cell. Look at this. Just this by itself, right? You see all these pages? But it's all quality. Like, you read all this, you're gonna have a complete understanding and completely forget about basically about all the BS that goes around, basically, that because you can see it from their perspective. So it's S70222. Eric, I know you're driving, so I love this chilling vibe.
we're looking at holy shit. Wow. Today, Arthur, there should have been about 1,021,425 AMC shares delivered as a T plus 35. Should have been today. Clearly, we didn't see any of that because the majority of it, if in case it did, which is equivalent to about $12 million in buying pressure. Now let's look. If they didn't deliver it today, they could tomorrow. Yeah, obviously they didn't deliver shit. See, the problem is, and that's what's also reported, like that's a crazy figure, and even then that's still a BS number. So like even if they were gonna deliver 1.2 whatever 12 million shares, look at that, the volume today altogether was 25 million. It's ludicrous. Let me see something. And here's the crazy part. 60% of this 25 million today was routed through the dark pool too. And the problem is the reports are all over the place too, because you got some reports saying that the FTDs have surpassed 2.6 million of node basically delivers, but that was the last report. But then there's so many reports that report some BS here and like fake shit, which again, you're not going to see no synthetics in here being reported. Okay. All right. Now let's look at this. By the way, before we look at that, do you guys like the crypto talk yesterday? What did we see in crypto early this morning? Huh? And where is crypto right now? Continue expected to go lower and lower. We'll look at some of that. Now I want you guys to look at this. I prepared this for you guys to look at this, okay? This is the AMC chart that I was looking at, and I shared this with some of my friends. And as you can see here, this is like basically showing you, this is the June run up back in 2021. It all bounced off this level right here. You see? We just dipped under it right here, but look at this. This is why this is a very important. I highlighted it in gray, but I'm not the best drawer, right? Where is my... All right. So as you guys can see here, this level right here
has been very crucial apparently for AMC. As you can see here throughout, historically speaking, that 1355, 1353, 1352 in that region, this is the level that we last right here. As you can see, it dipped right below it, but right here took off in June. And here's how we've been in this bearish pennant, as well as I'll show you here. And what is a bearish pennant? And what's the difference between it and the bullish? They're literally the opposite of each other, and you'll see how here. This bearish formation started, so basically if you were into technicals at that time, when you see this is the top of this wave right here, went down, it failed to make a new high, which was supposed to be anything above this point. So it got right here. That was the first indication, the first bearish pennant sentiment. Then it obviously made another lower low, made a high. Did it hold it? Look, it peaked right above it. It tried to peak above it, brought right back into that triangle, that in that bearish pennant, and made another lower high and lower lows, making a drastic. And what the bearish pennants are mostly are when the stock can't, after a major drop, cannot consolidate. So instead of consolidating, it continues to make a trend of lower highs and lower lows. And as you can see here, it dropped here, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower than this, lower high, lower low, lower low, lower high, as you can see. Here, however, you see how we tried to break this trend of this back in March. This happened in March right here. And then we were brought right back down on a very, very hard way. And you guys remember that time, which formed what? Another bearish pennant that we are in right now. A hard, sharp fall. Instead of consolidating, it continued to make lower highs. See, 1, 2, 3. You see those? 4, 5. Lower highs and lower lows. The crazy part is, here's the bullish part for us. When you look here, you see this level again. Oh my God, this happens to be the 1353 level, 1350. When it dipped underneath it, you see where we at right now? Every time they push it right back up here, it doesn't go under for a long time. So, which is a very big thing for us, because this is compared to our compared to the last year, as far as like the whole run up, where we ran up from, and that's where we are, and we basically respecting that. Now this pennant wedge is getting tighter and tighter on these levels. We are primed for either this, which again, I can't see it happen like this, or a further consolidation within this zone, so that it can basically respect this bearish pennant. Basically, it's not out of it yet for a little while. I would say probably against that toward the end of July, if that's the case here. Again, I'm breaking down the cases that we could expect. I would expect to get out of this trend by the end of July, if that's what they're planning for. Or we could easily tomorrow or the beginning of next week, but it has to be, you know, if this is the case, instead of consolidating, by next week, I would be expecting us to break this trend. The crazy thing is right here, this area, 24 something, 24, 43, 24, 60, excuse me. This area right here is going to be respecting what? The overall sentiment of lower highs and lower lows, which means that it can go here and they can pull. If we get to this point, to this area, here's why some creators or YouTubers say numbers, but they don't show any like receipts after it, because they probably watched somebody else or anything. But here's why people are talking about the $20 zone is where they get screwed. Well, in reality, from a technical standpoint, it's not in the 20s. Technically, it's, I'll show you, it'll be right here somewhere. these areas. I'm terrible at drawing, as you can see. These areas right here in the 30s, this is where will be our the confirmation of MOAS nearing. Why? Because as you can see, for over a year, we've been in a bearish trend. And here's the cool part. This big run, followed by a major, sorry for all the stuff. Big run, followed by nothing but downward movement. What does this symbolize? Well, minus the terrible job of drawing for me to you. This is what they call, ladies and gentlemen, a fuck, I just had a brain fart, guys, sorry. Need more coffee and water, I think. This is what they call a bull flag, guys. I've mentioned it many times before in the past, and this is what the bull flag looks like. The crazy thing that's bullish about a bull flag is, since we know that there's a lot of pressure, a lot of naked shorts, a lot of failure to delivers, all that stuff, and there's buying pressure is just not showing, right? So all that is basically, think of it as lava in a volcano tip right here that is being pressurized. The longer it goes, it's being more pressured, and when it breaks, it's gonna break something similar like this. Look, it's still drawing. Stop. You see this right here? This is why I say this is where we would be at. What happens with a bull flag is that when it breaks out, it doesn't break out like a normal thing. First, it gives you the indication, if we're lucky, we'll see it from here. Hopefully it doesn't stop right here in that $18 range. 24, this dot, 24.64 in this area right here. Hopefully we don't stop there, because if we stop there and we do another pull down, then obviously that would reconfirm what? That we're continuing this downward movement, which means it's going to be, they're kicking the can down the road from a technical perspective. Forget about the events on the outside. They're going to do another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're going to be down here, basically kicking it down to possibly third quarter and the end of third quarter, and then that's when we see another, either the same thing, which will end right here somewhere in the, like in the third quarter, imagine it right here, and then follow it along. But this level is what is, this is the base that apparently, from a technical standpoint, this is the level that is holding. So we are at the bottom. That's what it's, in other words, it's telling you. So a bull flag, when it breaks out, if it doesn't stop here and breaks to here, that breaks the trend, the very old, over a year old trend of downward movement. Now we're making higher highs, which indicates that we are out of the bearish zone of a bull flag and the movement and the overall sentiment of like a sell-off in the stock, as the technicals have it. So right here in the 30s, I know for a fact that from a technical perspective, this is where you will have this confirming that we broke out of that bearish and that bullshit sentiment that they had us in for over a year, as you can see. And when we rebound somewhere here, then eventually, if we don't stop right here and break into here, going further higher than this point right there, which is the $29 zone, once we break out of that into the 30s, it confirms it, meaning there's more buying being done, which means it's breaking that trend once again of the selling pressure, more buying, which is reflective on the chart. And next thing you know, all you see out of a bull flag, almost almost like I don't want to say 10 out of 10, but almost 8 or 9 times out of 10, a bull flag always ends with what? A movement toward the all-time high. It breaks out. When it breaks out of that. Last time something like that happened was with Dogecoin. Look at Dogecoin and you'll see it back in January of 2021. Look what he was going through throughout 2020. Very similar to this. And you would see it. Hold on. You guys remember all of this? Let me show you. Right here. Sorry, not that green line. Don't look at that. Right here. Similar. Boom, 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 boom. Bull flag. And then this happened. Now they're into this, but apparently, see, they're in the bearish pennant too right here. All that sell-off, but they broke out of that trend and they're below it now. Shit. And they didn't even break up. How low can you go, right? Okay, that's enough of that. Enough of the charts. Let's add enough of this. So, let me see. All right, well, it looks like we don't have. Dana, how are you? Sorry, I'm just now seeing this. They sent you back a lot of disclaimers, Corbin. You got it, Veronica. Appreciate you. I'm glad it was beautiful for you, Corbin. As I can see, not a lot of people, I guess, like this stuff. Or today we're missing a lot of our crew, a lot of people. So hopefully everybody's okay. Hopefully everybody's having fun, or doing whatever to do. Let's see what's happening here in the market. Nothing. It's a dead dead. There's nothing. Ooh, I wanted to also show you guys something from here before I get out of here. This was my first meal yesterday after the fasting. I'm gonna show you some more funny stuff too right now. Cool stuff. Corbin, yes, we do. Jeffrey put it up in the chat above. It's a link. It's not even too far up actually. If you scroll up, you'll see it. Yep. So this was basically the first meal in after 3 days, 4 days, and 3 nights of fasting. And then I wanted to show you guys this. This was AMC level 2 data for you guys. Hopefully it's clear enough. Look at this BS. These guys are doing nothing but literally like they're, as Lou refers to it, as ping ponging shit to themselves, and you can see it in the numbers right here. Their tricks never get old, but at the end of the day, the most important thing is what? Our conviction is there, we buy and hold. And we buy and hold. And as my dear friend Arthur always says, do not forget to support the stock that you are investing in, whichever one it is. So if it's AMC, go ahead and buy that popcorn. Even if you're watching your calories or your diet, it's just for that movie, you know. Unless you go watch movies every day, then they have other, amazing things I believe in there that you could definitely take advantage of. But the ultimate point here is to echo that stronger fundamentals, a stronger financials for the stock, ultimately is in the long run, regardless, going to be much better for us. So while we're waiting for this squeeze and while we basically anticipating the squeeze, that's one less thing to worry about. In fact, that's an asset that is brewing and cooking in the back burner, you know, which shorts, obviously, this works to our advantage and against them, right? So, Lord Nemesis, how are you, brother? Thank you, Jeffrey, for this. Jeffrey, you want to jump into Discord to give me final thoughts? What's your thoughts on today? I want to hear it if you have time. If you don't, it's fine, brother. I can wrap this up. I'm great, Lord Nemesis. Appreciate you, brother. Like a small me. Sorry, I can about 30 to 45 if you want to go back on with me. We'll see how it is. We'll talk on Discord, brother. I doubt it because I have some things to go and do and eat dinner. But we'll talk. We'll see if we can. This stream was on for about what? How long we've been on air? I don't know. We'll see later. Almost 2 hours. So how about we finish the 2 hours? All right, guys. Let's make me big again so I can. Well, yet we had another hopefully great episode today, guys. I think we talked about a lot of good things. We tracked some things. We're going to be tracking to see what happens tomorrow. Don't let what was happening today mask the fact that a lot of obviously manipulation is always happening on a daily basis, but today's was, I want to say, one of the worst in a very, very long time, and data will show for it. You'll see as time comes, as the days come. So don't let that, like, the ending of today, whether it's in bbig or AMC or any of the other stocks, down. Again, the guys that we're up against, the whole market is going red. The SPY is getting obliterated. These reports that when they say they just want to egg people on like us, and they, like when Citadel says and AQR says that they're reporting profits and all that stuff, it's BS. If you haven't seen my AQR breakdown, go see it, about that hedge fund that dared us and Cliff asked us. Same thing with Citadel. They're reporting profits when in other sites you can see that they're down in that same quarter over almost 12%. And now it's much worse because we are in a much worse place than first quarter of this year, right? So you can only see how this inevitably is a sinking ship. If I'm guessing this correctly, half the ship is already sunk for them. They can write and type and submit, report all sorts of inflated numbers, and we know that they were able to do a lot of that, right? Who did that last? If you watched Pantheon's episode in the Ernest episode, I think the one before last, or the last one, I believe. I don't know. I watch a lot of I watch my friends so much to the point where I forget which episodes are which, right? But he pointed out how they were able to cook books to show that they were making basically money where in reality it was not. Like, cook the books up. And this is something that I can just about according to the numbers, is showing us that they are doing something like that, because in one place they're saying there's a 15% profit, and then one side they're reporting, obviously their holdings are reporting a 12% loss, and that was just from Q1. Wait till Q2 comes out and see it even a way worse. What are they going to report? 50% profits? Yeah. So I feel like, okay, guys, I've taken enough of your time. Thank you so much for coming in and for the support. All of you, appreciate everybody that subscribed and everybody that obviously liked the video. Help push it out to more and more people. For all the ones that came today, deep down in my heart, appreciate you yet once again. I'm gonna say that every day and every time. You know, AB. And hopefully I got to catch Diaz before I got out. Diaz, how are you, my brother? Kudos to you. The world needs a lot of Diaz's. So, there we go. Hello to all, goodbye to all. Well, at least we got to see you, brother. So, once again, thank you so much, guys. See you in the next episode. It'll probably be tomorrow. I'll probably come in for a not happy hour, no. Well, either happy hour or power hour. We'll see. Depending on if there's, if there's a congestion around that time, we'll see. We'll see. Either way, I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to air. If you guys are going to be around, want to share whatever is happening with me, you're more than welcome as always. Thank you for joining the AB Investments family. And once again, guys, much love, AB Investments.